Post 88. It's your boy Dan Blake. And I've got a very special guest on the line. Will you want to introduce yourself to the audience, sir?
Hey, someone please call 911. Lord knows what's good.
What is good?
What's up, baby?
Well, I've got my boy Wyclef Jean on the phone line on post88.co.uk right now. He joins us on Music Worldwide. It is an absolute honor to have you on the show, sir.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. You already know. Shout out to all my people in the UK. Y'all know what it is, man. Wyclef, the Haitian general, not just in words. We move in action. Y'all know that already. Let's get it.
Trust me, bro. So, you know, one of the biggest stars in music. He sold millions of records. Part of one of the most legendary rap groups of all time. Worked with some of the best global artists in the game. You know, from Shakira to Mary J. Blige to Destiny Child. Hailing from Haiti. He's here, man. So let's get straight into those questions, sir. So, you know, I want to know how you been, man. What you up to? Where you in the world right now, man?
Well, now I'm in New York, you know what I mean? So for everybody that's listening, you know, it's really an honor to come back in the music space, you know? Like, in count, I'm responsible for 100 million records, you know? When you count, like, the Fugees, you know, then the first solo production that popped me off was Destiny Child, you know? No, Beyonce and them. I remember like doing shows, and Beyonce used to be a student, like watching from the side, you know. So wow. Proud and honored of everything that they doing, you know. I remember the Fugees with Jay-Z, Nas, you know what I mean. This is niggas in Paris before niggas was in Paris. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's incredible. But you know, amongst all of that, I'm inspired. My two biggest inspirations is Fela Kuti and Bob Marley. Oh wow! So I know that I had to do more than music, you know. So when I said I'll be gone till November, I didn't know that it would take 7 years to come back. You know what I mean? Into this space.
And that takes us to, you know, the Joe. Am I pronouncing it right? The Joe Vert. You know, your new EP title, right?
Yeah, man, Juve, that's the carnival, the day, you know, the night before the carnival.
That's it.
I call it the Pan-African celebration.
That's it. Means the official start to carnival and the street party on the dawn of the Monday.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, so for me, this is a sound from 1997, you know? Yeah. So when I listen to my little brother Drake, you know what I mean? I listen to my sister Rihanna, you know what I mean? Yeah. So this look like all Uncle Clef got to do is just jump in the ocean right back. So it's all good for me right now.
Trust me, brother. So you know, your last single from the EP, you know, featuring Young Thug, I Swear. You know, how did that come about? Yeah. How did the studio collaboration come about between you two, man?
Well, Thugger was doing a mixtape, you know, and his mixtape was about, you know, his favorite artist that inspired him of all time. Yeah. So his first song on his mixtape is called Wyclef Jean. So, you know, they had to call me to clear my name for the song. Of course. And then, so he called me, and then he wanted me on another record that he called Kanye West. And we just got in the studio, the connection, the vibe was right. You know, he's a melody man. I'm a melody man when it comes to songwriting. So we clicked, you know, and I got to hear some other stuff that he was doing, and I knew that he would be great for this I Swear record, you know what I mean? Because it was something totally different. You know, I wanted to do something totally different than what he was doing. Yeah. He wanted to try something different, so the combination worked perfect.
Wow, absolutely amazing. And it's like, you know, apparently you said he's the generation's Tupac at the moment. What's the truth in that? Did you say that?
Well, I mean, you know, for everyone that's listening, I think by now y'all should know what switch bait is, you know. Switch bait is when certain magazines, they're not selling too well, so they use a celebrity headline to get you to switch that button, you know what I'm saying to you. So I'm more famous than the magazine, whoever started that rumor, you know what I mean? What we said, though, it wasn't really... the rumor was not started by the actual interviewer that I did the article for, that magazine. Yeah. What I said was Tupac and Thugger, both as men, remind me there's a similarity. The two similarities is one is the work ethics. Yeah. So Thugger probably got 100 songs right now in the stash box. Wow. You see what I'm saying? So he's like, you never heard it. Maybe you will never hear you know what I mean, or you will hear. Tupac, same way, you know what I mean. Second part that I saw in the men is when I met Thugger. First thing he says, Clef, you know, salute, you know, show me his Haitian tattoo. His daughter named Haiti, the projects named Haiti, the handshake named Haiti. When I met Tupac, the whole Black Panther movement, there was a big conversation about it, you know? So I was talking about the comparison was not a music comparison. It was a work ethics comparison.
Yeah.
And the idea of which part of history each man choose to, like, pull themselves into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just, you know, to be clear what the general was talking about, you know?
Wow. Did you ever share us a moment that you had with Tupac, you know, in your lifetime?
Well, I mean, all of my moments, my brother, are like surreal. You know what I mean? Because it's real time. You know what I mean? So when I'm next to Tupac and we chilling, it's real time. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's like, I don't know that I'm Wyclef yet. He don't know he's Tupac yet. We just know we Wyclef and Tupac. You know what I mean? And conversations are going to be from a brother with a Black Panther background, another kid who studied like Haitian Revolution from Haiti, you know what I mean? So we automatically just clicked on a vibe of men to men vibe, you know what I mean? And of course we was rebels just in the sense of, like, I mean, you can see, I mean, you see Tupac, you see the whole movement, Thug Life, you see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then all you got to do is Google me. You can see Haiti, how I moved through my country, you know what I mean? Like Ali Boumbaye, you know what I mean? I started an organization the same way like Fela Kuti when he went back to Nigeria, you know what I mean? And they infiltrated my organization like they did Marcus Garvey. I started my foundation with $1 million on my own personal money. You understand? So how can a man start a foundation with his own money? Then he's going to turn around and steal from his people. You know what I mean? They did the exact same thing to Martin Luther King when they say he stole money from the NAACP and then came and apologized. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you couldn't turn my people on me because I'm too strong and they know the truth, you know?
Yeah, that's
so
it.
all of this is real revolution going on real time, you know? So this is how I connect with Tupac. So these conversations, like me running for president of my country and all that, I felt like if he was alive, he probably would have been running for a Senate, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
man.
these are the talks, real talk conversation, you know?
Would you say, from, you know, your generation of rhymes where you grew up, your rhyming ability, your rhyme patterns, your lyrical ability, and the clear diction, you know, in rapping, compared to now, is like a lot of mumble rap, you know? What's your thoughts on the mumble rap culture now that's kind of taking over?
Well, first, every generation has their drug of choice, right? And ours was weed. You see what I'm saying to you? This generation is a slow-mo lean generation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once again, the conversations, and it's a little more slow motion, right? So the word, we won't say brother, it's just bruh, you know what I mean? So a word that's supposed to have 3 syllables in it is only 1 syllable, right?
Yeah.
So it introduces a new slang. And what I don't want is people to do is get lost in the idea of saying, oh, this is not hip-hop, or this is not rap, this is not lyrical. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Because every generation has their talk. You see what I'm saying? So my daughter, for example, she got her talk, you know?
Of course,
and
that real talk.
I may not understand everything Thugger saying. She will tell me every word that Thugger and Future is saying. You see what I'm saying to you? And break it down. So at the end of the day...
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I feel that because I was created like with the 90s movement, right?
Yes, of course.
And similar to Jay-Z, I mean, I speed rap, I can adapt to a lot of different styles. You see me like through the years.
Yeah.
Coming from a battle rap culture, being in the street, having to deliver 88 bars in like 1.2 minutes. You see what I'm saying to you?
No
and
flopping.
then understanding the rap of today and the rap of yesterday, when you put that chemistry together, it makes me a dangerous man. You see what I'm saying?
For real.
Two frequencies together, then it's like it's no stopping it. You know what I'm saying?
And production-wise, who's on there, man? Who produced it and stuff?
Yeah, man. So the EP is the appetizer. The album, The Carnival, comes out later in the year. So the combinations are crazy. On the album, I'm very excited because I always wanted to work with Emeli Sande, and we got a chance to actually go in the studio, Wyclef and Emeli Sande. All I can say is it was an honor being in the studio with her, and, you know, me being in the studio with Whitney, and like writing
Amazing.
My Love's Your Love or being in there with Mary J. Like all my life, I've been in the studio with women at different times. You know, goddesses that has portrayed a certain energy. And with Emeli Sande, it was no beat missing. You know what I mean? It was like, I feel like the record we did is going to stop time. Her writing is insane. She's one of the best writers that I've ever sat with and went pen to pen with. I think she's incredible. Also on the album, I got Joey Badass. I'm going to have Pusha T on the album.
Sick.
I'm going to have Daryl Hall on the album.
Jeez.
You know, I'm getting the Afrobeat feature ready right now.
Wow.
You already know it's going to be crazy. And, of course, the reggae feature, I can't announce it yet.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm working on some tune. Yo, y'all already know me. I work on tune for the man.
Some tune, some rhythm selection.
So,
what about the
y'all already
Afrobeat
know
record, man? Like, can you let us in on who's going to feature on that?
Well, think about Afrobeat, though. Keep in mind, like, when I was going to Nigeria, it was Two-Face, the Bonds, and all of that.
For real.
So I've always been inside of the movement, you know what I mean? Whether, shout out to my little homie, Fugees, you know?
Yeah, man, that was a big remix.
Fugees told me what they was going to do when we was touring outside of Europe, you know what I mean? And then we just connected and we did, like, the Antenna remix.
Yeah.
So for me, though, as a producer, you know, when I hear Afrobeat coming from Haiti, understanding the rhythm of Africana, understanding what Fela Kuti did, it's only right, you know what I'm saying, that this movement definitely dominates the generation. But when y'all hear me on an Afrobeat, it's not Wyclef saying, oh man, let me jump on an Afrobeat. It's Wyclef, the Haitian Niger vibe, you know what I mean? That when them man didn't even know what Afrobeat was, Wyclef was wailing on them beats, you know what I mean? So it's going to be crazy. Man. For the combination, I'm still want to make sure that the combination works so well because I just love the culture. I love a lot of the kids are doing incredible stuff.
So what would you want people to take away from this, man, from this new EP? What's the one thing that you would want them to take away from it?
Well, I mean, the EP basically is, like Sizzler said, you can't keep a good man down. You see what I'm saying to you?
Real.
And it's the rise of the Phoenix. It's the celebration. What I want everyone to take away from this is, right, after you fall, the best part is getting up, you know what I mean? And celebrating your life, your culture, your energy, your friends, you know what I mean? You're just happy to be alive, man.
That's it, man, for real. That's so true. And, you know, the Hendrix video, very deep. You talk about all lives matter. You know, there's a bit of police brutality in there. After the protests, you know, that's been going on with, you know, the Black Lives Matters movement in the US, and the UK as well. What would you say is next for, you know, for being heard out there? Because after, you know, the campaigning, going out and marching, what can be done, you know, to really solve what's going on in the black communities in the USA and the UK with the killings going on, man? What's your thoughts on this? Well,
really, you know, I tell everybody, mobilize peacefully. That's the only way to do it. When you see, like, Martin Luther King in different ways, you know, like, you know, violence is just going to keep instilling violence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then keep in mind, like, in every country, you know what I mean? I don't mean to start some words, which I know I'm always tell y'all the truth, right? So in every country you have a parliament, you know what I mean? In America you have a Congress, you know? And everybody is elected by the people, right? For the people. So you just have to make sure that in your district that the people that you're hiring to work for you, like legislation, policies, different things. Like when you're marching, know what you're marching for. And if you want to get a piece of legislation changed, when the news is talking about why you marching, what do you want, you know what I mean? I want to see more kids on the news like, look, we're marching. This is our mayor. This is our governor. We need them to look at this legislation. On Twitter, we just got a petition of 3 million people here for this petition, you know what I mean? Yeah. So what I want y'all to do is really think of like Martin Luther King, that kind of movement. Nelson Mandela, who I got a chance to meet 3 or 4 times and have talks with, you know? So in order to get the change to happen, the march is one thing, the understanding what you're marching for, and then making sure that at the end of the marches that someone is being held accountable at the parliament or at the Congress where somebody could at least present what they're marching for in the House, you know what I mean? In the seat, in the actual Senate.
Wow. Because in the UK, you know, a young man was killed by the name of Mark Duggan from London by the police. You know, they said it was a lawful killing. They believe he had a gun on him, so they shot him dead. It sparked the biggest riots, London has ever had, and it showed all over the TV screens. There's a big documentary on the TV actually yesterday. And, in the UK, apparently, it's only the special unit officers who have guns, and in the US, it's like a lot of police I've seen have guns over there. So, if you were president, what would you do with the gun problems, man? What would you do if you were president or the prime minister over here to solve both issues, man?
Well, what I want the whole community to understand, right, is Clef talking to you, Wyclef. The first thing is it really a gun problem, or is it a community rule, a setup problem, right? Because I don't care if it's London, if it's Philadelphia, if it's Brooklyn, if it's Compton. What happens is when you have a community that you don't invest in, and then you have an overpopulation of people, right? And then there's no jobs. You see, the policies have failed them. You can take all the guns you want away, there's still going to be crime and there's still going to be violence. So in order for things to happen, the number one thing is that investment have to start to come inside of these rural areas, right? Because if you want the change to actually happen, you have to set up businesses, right? So the businesses really come from the private sector. The business don't really come from the government. So, but in order for the private sector to feel like they secured, you see, I'm going to give you an example. Remember Magic Johnson, right? He was like, you know what? I'm going to go throughout all of the hoods and I'm going to put movie theaters inside of the hood. And I'm going to give people jobs. You see what I'm saying? When he actually did that, believe it or not, like the crime rate went down within these communities. You see what I'm saying to you? So it's a twofold problem, because think about it. If a man can't eat, right? And you come and take a gun away from a man and he can't eat, and the next time you want to eat, you don't think he's going to use something else if you don't have the gun, right? But if you teach a man how to fish, how to eat, how to take care of their family, now you see them with a gun and they're committing a crime, then of course they held accountable because you have set up a system for them. So I just feel like failed policies is set up in all the rural areas by design. You see what I'm saying? And then we have to work with our leaders and community people so like they're not selling us out also to the politicians, that they're holding everybody accountable. You see what I'm saying? Each one teach one and each one holds each other accountable.
Okay, so you heard it first, guys, from Wyclef.
Because you see me? Because y'all see me, man, they call me Wyclef. And me can't be in a place where me have my wife, my kids, and me not have me artillery, because me don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, so me can't tell them on yo. But what I could say is if you improve the community, things like that is going to change.
Be more educated, for real. Okay, let's move on to, let's talk a little bit about the Fugees, man. So I just want to know, how did you guys get together? How did you meet Lauren and Pras, man?
Man, Fugees is like magic, when you're in high school, I'm already like a senior, and I'm like in a thugged out school, Lauren is in suburbia, but every week, we would like just go to the school to check the girls out, you know what I mean? Like see the vibes going on in Colombia. My man Pras actually came back and was like, yo, I got this group with these two girls and I need you to come and do some reggae singing for me, you know what I mean? So when I got there, it was two girls and Pras. And, I was, me, you could, already know I'm a player. You see my size, you know what I mean? You be like, yo, he looked like a young Barrington Levy. I walked in there. So I walked in there with the vibe. And then the girls was like, oh, he can't leave. He got to be part of the group. So this is the whole vibe how it started. But for me, like Marvin Gaye, my father was a preacher, so I was raised on gospel music, you know what I mean? And I was the choir director and always had to do music for the band and different things like that. So when me and Lauren, we hooked up, I had a basement called a Booger Basement, my uncle's basement, Jerry's father. And that's really how we started off. I was like in the hood, like real, like, man, I think I was like barely like 17. And the hustle was anybody on the block that wanted a song done, we didn't care. What you was doing, because most of the dealers on the block, everyone was rapping. So you come to us, Lauren's gonna sing a song for you. I'm gonna do the track, you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna pay us some money. So that was a hustle, that was a movement, you know? And I'd be like, yo, if this girl don't sing on your thing, man, it ain't gonna be hot. Now I'm looking back and I'm like, damn, it's like 20 years later, and more so like 25 years later, and I know like some of these dealers have probably still got their cassettes in their hands right now, like just playing it with Lauren singing the hook, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so
wow.
it got started like that, and from there, we got discovered. But when the Fugees was coming, it was so different because you have to understand, in my side of the hood, I was like, we're going to be a band. Like, we're going to have guitars, we're going to play instruments, because we from the hood, but we didn't want people to think, oh, man, look, the hood's guns. Okay, yeah. Oh, the hood's crack. Okay, the hood's cocaine. Yeah, but in the hood, kids play instruments, too.
Exactly,
kids listen to jazz. Kids listen to rock. What about that part of the hood? You know what I mean? So we wanted to make sure that that was represented. And the year we came out with the score, Jay came out with Reasonable Doubt. You know, we
Classic.
was touring for a little bit with Biggie Smalls, Puffy. You know, we opened up like a few shows. So you could just feel like the rise of what was going on. So to us, you know, the whole idea with the score was we wanted the world to understand that all neighborhoods, right, at the end of the day, there's all kind of kids from these neighborhoods. We didn't want people to pin the picture of the hood of just saying, okay, you could either be a drug dealer, a pimp, or a prostitute. You see what I'm saying to you?
Man.
I'm like, whoa, well, what about me? I ain't no pimp, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, my cousin could have been a drug dealer. Okay, he's a drug dealer. Okay, so and so, but we wanted the entire story to be told. You know what I mean? And that's what we did with the score.
Wow. And you know, you had classics on there such as, you know, Fuji La, you know, Ready or Not. What would just give us a little glimpse into the studio sessions of the, you know, making those records? What was it like? Were you competitive? Were you like, you know, I've changed that verse because I heard Praz's or Lauren's verse? Was it like that? You know, that kind of hip hop competitiveness?
Well, I think for me, like, I think by now you can see what every Fuji did based on all of the work that I've done. You could see my part, Lawrence. Right? You know what that studio session was like. You know what I mean? So me and the Fugees, I was like the Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? So I'd be the one playing the instruments, getting the, you know, the movement, like the whole orchestration. It either in my brain or in Lauren's brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as a composer, I think she's so genius. From what you know what I mean, like knowing as a kid, and basically just coming up together. So I remember, like, okay, Killing Me Softly, for example, it's a record that, man, I remember, like, not even taking so seriously. We always a fan of Tribe Called Quest, so we cut that.
Oh my God!
Right,
Legendary.
And then just the bass line, ba-doom, and then I'm just playing like some Fender Roses, like on top of that. Like you go back and you look, because we was just like, yo, this could be like for a mixtape.
Yeah.
Like, because all this time we doing the score to me, because we from a sound system, you know what I mean?
System
so
culture.
keep in mind, so I had like a sound system, and coming up as a youth, I listened to like Stone Love, Saxon, David Radigan, all of the crazy sound systems.
Yeah,
so when you got, it's the same way, like you see Diplo today, Major Lazer, them are real sound man.
Real sound boys are.
When you have people who come from a sound system who understands that, then understand the musicality, then sky is the limit. You know what I mean? So with what you're hearing on the score is just a reflection of a neighborhood in simplicity. You know what I mean?
Wow, absolutely amazing story there. Will there be a reunion tour? Come to London, do it. O2 Arena, somewhere big that will sell out. Wyclef, a reunion tour. Prague, Lauren.
Well, once again, man, you already know, man, I'm from Haiti, baby. I'm game for whatever. You know what I mean? Like, Fugees is my group, you know what I mean? I'm from that rock and roll hip hop band. Whenever they ready, I'm always ready, baby.
Trust me, that's what we all want to see. That, you know, every, you know, Wyclef, Praz, Lauryn Hill fan wants to see that from around the world. And just, you know, last couple questions. So, you know, you work with Fugees, you know, anything happening with, you know, you work with Emeli, Sande, and you working with any other UK talent out here?
Well, definitely. I hope everybody that's listening, y'all know, Uncle Clef is back to work. My Twitter's at Wyclef. I ain't hard to find, you know what I'm saying to you. And I'm always, I have a love for talent, you know what I mean? I'm always searching You know what I mean? Like the UK is like saying being in the States, you know?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, so much incredible talent rolled through there. You know what I mean? Y'all could definitely hit me on that at Wyclef. Let me know what y'all doing. The connection with Fugees is incredible. That's like my little brother. The same thing that I'm doing in Haiti, he does, you know what I mean? Like for Africa, he wanted people to see Africa in a whole different light. And I love their movement. I endorse them 100%. And I think the UK has so much brilliantness coming out of it. But as a student who studies music, though, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you could go back and watch me doing like "Wish You Were Here." You know what I mean? You can go back and see me producing full-blown albums for Tom Jones. You know what I mean? So this is not your regular guy talking.
Trust
you know what I mean? This is a person who have history.
Legend.
With the. It's like I'm in a y'all might have to give me a passport after this conversation.
Yo, we'll give you more than you need a couple stones on the floor, my friend. Trust me. Hey, no games, no messing around. You know, big up Kieran Farron on the phone line. You know, he says, big you up, he loves you, loves your music. Yeah, man. He said he listens to your music all the time. He's so happy that you're on the line. It's absolutely big, man. The UK fans loving you, bro. Just a quick
love.
Yeah, man. One love all the way, man, all the way. So what I want you to do now is introduce, you know, your new record, your new single with Young Thug. So I just want you to say you're listening to Dan Blake on Pulse 88 and introduce the record, sir.
All right, Dan Blake. What's the station?
Pulse 88 Radio, man.
Okay, Pulse 88. Okay, Dan Blake, right? Like Dan Blake.
Yeah, just as Dan Blake. Yeah, ready, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, Pulse 88. Yeah. This my new joint, Wyclef Jean featuring Tug. This my new joint, Wyclef Jean featuring Thugger. Let's get into it. And I swear.